Like, this is all we've been asking for, that if you be in our faces every single month.
Yeah, everybody wants back-to-back
invasive, invade our space. We want to hear.
Right. So, invade our spaces. We want to hear. Please.
Yeah.
That is out. She's spoken about it.
Yeah.
Have you heard the song?
Yes.
What do you think about it?
I think it's very. It's for the vibe people, like any song. Is that kind of song that you want to,
like a Friday party mood?
You want to send to someone, but also you want to play it on your own and sing. Do you? Okay, I'm not going to have this conversation on television. But there are people whose love language is sharing creative stuff, right? I at some point in my life met someone like this, and I was tired because every single moment be a link. You know, They share music, they share videos, inspirational videos they find, exciting to share with you. So if you are that kind of person and you like to share stuff with your friends, Radio is one of the songs you should look out for, actually, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
I've not heard about it. I'll try to listen to it. But now let's check out what's trending on X. First thing.
Hajj is trending.
You know why it's trending?
Yes, yes.
We'll come to that.
I did not know that people did that with Hajj. I didn't even know that people actually, they always exceeded their numbers of 5,000. If you ask me, right, when you talk about the Muslim community, I think about structure. I think about system. I think about consistency. I think about people who are consistent with something. Like they don't go out of their way. If it's 5-time prayers in the day, they do it. Like when I think about the Muslim, that's what I think about. But to be able to be doing this for so long, at some point, someone has to speak. And I love that the president has spoken about it, and we're going to see progress. Because again, I always say this, and that is why at some point people saw me supporting Trump until last weekend. But
that conversation. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I still love my Kwame Trump. He is who he is. But I'm just saying that once you include an extra number to anything, you begin to stretch the system. Whether it's educational system, whether it's a country. Because once you bring extra people, you have to cater for these people. Them, yeah. Even if not directly, you're seeing yourself catering to numbers that you have not prepared for. And for us as a people, comfort should be very important. You're taking people on a spiritual journey. You do not want them to be struggling on the journey. And we've seen this so many times, and there's always stampede at Hajj. There's always one. So you people are saying extra number than you're supposed to. Like, people, why? So I love that the president has touched on that and other issues that are associated to it. But we're definitely going to get into it to see what's going on with that.
So much sports trending. Lakers is trending. Amorim is trending. Fulham is also trending in sports. Clippers is trending. So much sport. I think Sedinam will get into that when he comes.
You want to go down a little bit? Maybe we'll find something.
Yes. So GA, the Ghana Airports Company Limited, is also trending in connection with Hajj as well. There's WWE Chamber. There's the National Cathedral also trending, also because of Hajj. Then Hallelujah Challenge 2025. Still some sports. Then there's the Oscars as well. Ghana Airports Company is here. Bridget Otu.
What's going on?
I was also waiting for.
Yeah?
This is the one I saw it in the
What happened? I didn't see it.
Oh, you've not heard?
No.
Then let's start with this one.
Let's start.
Apparently,
you
know, on the back of Jocelyn Dumas' appointment.
How did I think that was what this was going to happen? How did I not think?
So on the back of Jocelyn Dumas' appointment, people were kind of wanting to see Bridget Otu giving an appointment. Why? Because you know the kind of work she has done.
Yeah.
How vocal she was in the build-up to the 2024 elections about the government and her support for the NDC.
Yeah.
People thought or were expecting President Mahama to name
her first before anybody.
For any other appointment. Then she came out to say, "Dear John Dramani Mahama, could you please appoint me as the Director General of GTV for 1 week? I want to do something small for there."
I like that.
That was what she came to tweet.
You cannot take my mystery. I mean, myself, I'll mock myself first. But that wouldn't be bad, though.
Really?
Yeah, Bridget at GTV. I think that would be really great.
Wait. So it also generated some sort of reaction from GTV.
Hey, GTV.
They put out the whole thread. Dear Bridget Otu, the job application you've written rather be sent to the National Media Commission and not John Dramani Mahama. As a journalist, I'm sure you know the NMC is the appointing body for the GBC Director General. Hashtag POSCO. I don't know what that means, but yeah. I'm trying to
find... this, what do you call it?
They put out a thread for GBC, from GBC about this whole thing. I'm shocked it's not here. Really shocked it's not here.
Their social media is more busy. It's busier. Let me put it that way. It's busier than their platform.
Right.
They should be more serious about the content they put on there than being in social media about.
So
but anyway.
2:30 is laughing. Oswald Cole says, looks like people will lose their jobs this morning at GTV. Congratulations in advance for the job. And you know the funny thing?
No.
There's a photo trending of her, and people are congratulating her like incoming GTV MD. I don't know if you've seen the photo. I'm shocked I'm not seeing the photo here.
Yes.
Well, let's run through the comments. Obiba JK says it is possible. Promise Dumevi says, just as ISD Ghana has been restructured, so must it be with GTV Ghana. We need value for money.
Absolutely.
Okay. Tenaso says...
Oh, I see. She has support.
Yes. JM, make this happen ASAP. I think it's because of, like you said, the content production at GBC. But GBC also put out a statement. I'm really looking for that statement. So GBC was kind of explaining how the systems work at GBC and the reasons why we see what we see on GBC. I don't know if you understand, but it just on the back of what people were saying about the content production at GBC, it just came out to explain certain things and then to kind of debunk or bring down the heat from Bridget Otu's post about
I think it's
being
sound
appointed
that they're busy releasing statements as opposed to what one would expect from them that they do the work. We all know that they are there because wait. You see this, right?
Right.
You see their cover photo.
Right.
This is one that a lot of media houses are doing, right? A lot of media houses are doing. We've seen a little bit of advancement with their social media platforms. Yeah. Can we see equal content
on TV?
Because when you look at the growth in the media space now, GTV especially seems to be struggling a little bit to catch up. Whether they have decided that they will stay the way they are,
right.
or because GBC is our BBC.
Yeah.
And they have advanced, included things. Then if there's anywhere any media house have to look up to,
this is the picture.
But actually, this looks like an appointment picture. I like.
This is what people are posting and congratulations in advance.
Me, I'll post and congratulate her too. I like. Imagine this photo shifted on the side a little. Then Bridget Otu appointed as GBC.
No.
And you're bad. Honestly, me, I like it for her.
So GTV again is replying to Bridget Otu saying, it is the foresight of GBC that brought about Metro TV where you are currently employed. Since GBC invested in Metro TV more than 3 decades ago, GBC is yet to get a return on investment. Focus your attention on how to get your organization to post a profit.
You're bad.
Kasongo.
I think this shit is unnecessary. And again, whoever is behind that page is just being petty for no reason.
But then, funny enough, Bridget Otu came back to say, you know what? It was kind of like
on the
jovial. Exactly. And unfortunately, that turned the other way around. She was just trying to. So people are still posting their photo. President Mahama gave Jocelyn Duma, who was supporting MPP post, whilst Bridget Otu them assault sake of NDC no get anything. LMAO moral lesson.
Actually, that's something.
People, I think that the thing with appointments is not credibility, but your wealth of knowledge to where you are being appointed. I think Jocelyn Duma is somebody who has experience in terms of creativity and in terms of foreign diaspora and affairs, creative diaspora and affairs. If President John Dramani Mahama and the team sorted wise to appoint her, probably there's a reason they've seen something about
there's
it.
Totally a reason.
So let's not do it MPP. And I'm an advocate for appointing everyone regardless of
the party they belong to.
Exactly. I mean, if Ghana is a country, or if we should begin to adopt that practice, we'll see the kind of development we'll have. Absolutely. Rather than MPP bar, it's only MPP people who are appointed. NDC2 comes, it's only NDC people, and then it's like a jump of experience. This one comes with this particular ideology, the other comes with an ideology. It may not be this stuff. I mean, we'll converse another day, but yeah. You still want to go to Digital too?
Nah, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. So, I didn't hear her shout Ezu. It will be bedding Kunimda. Oh, Bridget, to block me, but I'll await her appointment because. Okay. So it's still.
You do get where it's coming from, right?
Yeah.
Well.
Okay. So.
It is what it is.
So I've seen. Okay. So this was a different conversation, but. People are still posting. I don't know why people are excited over this, but...
Now, because an appointment has to go to Bijutotu. Bijutotu has fought for the NDC more than any creative I know. And if there's anything that will do to... because she also raised very salient points anytime she started, all these social media vows. Anytime she made her post or she made any assertion, it was really directed to her belief in John Dramani Mahama. So I think it's only a call in the right direction that she be given a space to be able to implement those things that she thought were ideas that could help build the country. It's only right. If someone who has come from a different party, who has campaigned for a different party, who has shown face for a different party is appointed, why not Bijutotu? You get what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Let's see what happens with this particular conversation because
appointment will be a baby.
President Mahama. Yeah, at your service.
The emperor, the conqueror.
But anyways, so Joy News is reporting that over 1,000 houses submerged or destroyed as the ocean claims communities along the southern Volta area. And this is actually trending because last week the president cut sword for the construction of the Hajj village, which is being, orchestrated or constructed by the Ghana Airports Company Limited to help pilgrims, Muslim pilgrims, on their journey and departure from Ghana to Mecca. Now, people are, drawing the conversation about the relevance or importance of the Hajj village compared to the loss of life and property in the Volta region and a sea defense at Keta. I know that this conversation is not an ASM. This sea defense at Keta has been Ablajifa Gomashi when she was, I think she is still advocating for that in the and in the Volta region area as well. So people are like, you know what, should the Hajj village be a priority? Should we not be building defense to rather protect the lives and property that is being lost in the Volta region, divert the funds that is, being used to construct the Hajj village into building something to support life and property in the Volta.
It's a call in the right direction. I think that the president, based on what he's doing so far, has interest in this as well. Building a sea defense will not be a thing that should be as difficult as building or having a sea defense done. Should not be as difficult as building a whole village.
Right.
So if they're calling that, listen, look here too, it's a call in the right direction. I think that the president's, based on what he's done so far, we're thinking he's a very responsive president, and so we definitely know that we probably are going to be seeing some response to the request and some actions being taken. I saw a post on social media talking about the Ashanti regional minister,
right?
And I hear he's making the MPP very unpopular in Kumasi right now. I hear when Otunfo calls him at 1 o'clock, at 1:10, he'll be in Otunfo's house. I'm telling you, and that was supposed to be a joke, but that's how responsive he has been. Things that have taken years, he's used a couple of weeks to fix. And so I think that the people do understand where they find themselves,
right,
and they're working. And so we pray that it continues on that tangent. I keep telling you, if we continue on this tangent, success is not far from us.
Oh, from us, yes. So Kofi Gab says, Keta Sea defense is not top priority, while Hajj village is not. The sea defense... okay, so Keta defense is the top priority, while Hajj village is not. The sea defense is about lives, while Hajj village is solely about religion. There's a video to it. I don't know if you want us to listen.
I don't like to.
Right. So this is what I was waiting for. Felix Kwachofosu came out to say that the Hajj Village is primarily an airport terminal building for check-in and pilgrimage facilitation owned and built by the Ghana Airports Company. Not a pesewa of taxpayers' money is involved.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's one thing I wanted to add quickly before we got into it. Yeah. This one is built by the Ghana Airports Authority, and all the funds they make from whatever it is that is. People should not make it a taxpayers' money conversation.
I think that is where the National Cathedral also came into the conversation.
National Cathedral,
no. So conversation. The president told us that the National Cathedral was not going to be funded by taxpayers' money.
Oh, you mean this could be a repetitive situation?
Right. That is why National Cathedral is also trending, because people were like, President Akufo-Addo says it wasn't going to be taxpayers' money. In the end, when investigations were done, we realized that some taxpayers' money had been plunged into that investment, to say, for lack of a better word. So therefore, people were kind of skeptical about that statement, saying
the involvement of the Ghanaian people, the taxpayers' money. Someone asked a question. Let's look at it.
Yeah. So Benno Success says, first question: is Ghana Airport Company for the state over a private entity? So is the airport company for a state or is for a private entity? I think that question is genuine, because if it is for the state, then it means that the money or the construction of the Hajj Village by the Ghana Airports Company is going to be using state money. I don't know if you understand that.
No, but do you also realize that it generates income every single day?
It does.
It self-funds.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So when you look at the operations at the airport, every single day they make money. And that money is for the state, or can be for the state. I don't know what, I'm not going to sit here and behave like I know what's happening over there. But if they generate their own money, even as individuals, right? So for a company like ours, we might have subsidiaries.
Right.
All the subsidiaries might or should be generating their own money to run the business of the company. So the company owners shouldn't wake up and be putting in money every single day to run the business. And that is what is happening with the Ghana Airport Authority. The owners, which is Ghanaian people, do not have to put in money to do anything for the Ghana Airport Authority, because they are self-sufficient. So they are able to change doors, they're able to pay for utilities, they're able to pay for staff salary without the involvement of government directly. Government builds the space, but they're able to make money every day, because it is the airports. Every single day they make money from there. From whether it is extra luggage or individuals using the space or generating money. Even spaces have been rented out for people to, vend food, the parking lots, and all of those things. Every single thing happening at the airport generates money.
Right.
So it is self-sufficient to take care of anything it wants to take care of. Now, when it comes to the people going to Hajj, have you ever seen it before? It's chaotic.
That is why I think that
So it's important that the village be put together so that the process, because they start the process early, they start the whole, so that it doesn't obstruct the regular travelers.
Right.
So we should deem this as very
essential.
Because we're a country that gives a free space for religion, like freedom of association to any form of religion, we need to make sure that every single person from any religion is okay. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
So if it's that traditionalists that want to do something, we shouldn't create a hostile environment for them. The Christians are doing crusades every day, are traveling to places every day. Yes, we might not be obstructing traffic like maybe the Muslims might be doing, because once a year they do this, or once in a lifetime they do this. So let's make it comfortable for them to be able to go through this process without having to worry about, would I come back alive? So I think it is something we should look at.
Let's run through a couple of the tweets and then get into our story. So LK Kessa CPA Chris says, is the Ghana Airports Company privately owned or state-owned? Because frankly, no one is questioning the purpose of improving airport facilities. The real concern Ghanaians have is this: after all the chaos, waste and embarrassment of the National Cathedral project. Here we go. Okay, so still people are still raising concerns.
So a little bit of education needs to go into the ownership of the Ghana Airports Authority, the way it functions, the way it works. I think it will help. And I tell you, I kind of believe my friend. So I have this Nigerian friend who told me that the illiteracy level in Ghana is absolutely outrageous.
Right.
Because it would amaze you that the average Nigerian might know who owns it. And so you would have educated people who don't know certain things. Because maybe, just maybe, we just are very lackadaisical about learning about our country.
I think the attitude of Ghanaians since the one has been, let me mind my business.
You understand.
but in Nigeria, it's like your business is my business. Whatever concerns you must concern me in Nigeria.
Especially if it's national issues.
Yes, issues. True.
Which you understand that. And so I think it's really important to start highlighting those very important conversations. The National Economic Dialogue begins today.
Today. So we're getting to the stories. Begins today, as promised by President John Dramani Mahama. In his 120-day contract, there's going to be an education forum. That has happened. We are going to have the report in March. Now it's time for the National Economic Dialogue today, beginning today through till, I think, on Thursday.
We have 2 days. It's supposed to be a two-day event.
Right. So today, tomorrow, we get to see what happens with the National Economic Dialogue. Key people have been built to speak at this conversation, get to contribute to the success of the economy, because that is one of the things in the mantra of resetting Ghana, in the agenda of the president and the NDC coming into administration. So we hope to see the trajectory of that conversation as well. And MX24 will surely bring updates. But then, before we get into it, Parliament had an orientation for members of Parliament. Apparently, every member of Parliament was supposed to be at this orientation in the Volta region. Unfortunately, the minority caucus, that's the NPP, did not show up. They decided to boycott it, aside Andre Siama, who was spotted at the orientation ceremony. Aside him, the minority leader, the deputy, no leadership from the minority caucus was at the orientation, as well as no member of Parliament from the minority caucus, aside Andre Siama, was there.
It's sad.
Very.
So they'll
apparently so.
They'll boycott this and go and misbehave in Parliament. It's an orientation not to prep them for parliamentary proceedings.
True.
So which one is you are boycotting?
So Afenyomakins and the minorities' purpose for boycotting is because the location is politically motivated. You know the Volta region has been a stronghold of the NDC. And in the 2024 elections, it gave the NDC quite a number of votes to win the presidential, election. So, Afenyomakin thinks the location is politically motivated.
Or no Afenyomakins, no? Afenyo no. Or no Kroya. Afenyo.
Ayo. His own home place.
Yo, Efo Afenyomakins. We have here you. Let's get into our stories for this morning and start off with the National Economic Dialogue, as it is set to begin this morning at the Accra International Conference Center, bringing top economic experts, policymakers, and industry leaders to address Ghana's pressing economic challenges. Now, under the leadership of President John Dramani Mahama, the forum will focus on the theme Resetting Ghana, Building the Economy We Want Together. A distinguished lineup of personalities, including Leslie Dwight Mensah, Professor Ebo Texan, Abena Osei Poku, David Ofosu Dorte, and Dr. Eli Klim, Kwabla Apetogbo, and Franklin Kujo will share insights and policy recommendations. Now, they will discuss, and the discussion will center on macroeconomic stability, economic transformation, infrastructure development, structural reforms, private sector growth, and governance. Currently on your screen is an artwork put out by the presidency stating that the theme would be Resetting Ghana, Building the Economy We Want Together, and it's urging Ghanaians to join them today in person with invitation and online access across many platforms for the much anticipated National Economic Dialogue, #Resetting Ghana, #Building the Economy We Want Together.
and the guest speaker is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Now, the list of speakers or policymakers who will be bringing the wealth of insight to this conversation is a list of them: Leslie DeWhite Mensah, Professor Ebo Texan, Mrs. Abena Osei Poku, Mr. Franklin Kujo, Dr. Eliklim Kwabla Apetogbo, and Mr. David Osei Dorte. Now, these persons will be speaking on topics around macroeconomic stability, economic transformation, infrastructure development, structural reforms, private sector growth, and governance. And we hope to see the highlights from this conversation. You want to stay glued to MX24GH on Instagram, as well as MX24 News and mx24.app/voting voices, as we will be bringing you updates with what happens or what builds at the National Economic Dialogue 2025. Now let's still stay on the presidency, as President John Dramani Mahama has reaffirmed his commitment to completing the Sewa Hospital by the end of the year, emphasizing the several vital projects initiated under the previous administration has stalled in recent years. Addressing the clergy in Kumasi on Sunday, he assured that his government will prioritize these unfinished developments to improve healthcare and infrastructure in the region. He highlighted the significance of the Sewa Hospital in easing congestion at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, allowing crucial renovation works to proceed. Let's take a listen to the president.
And boost the local economy. There are several projects that commenced under my previous administration and stalled under the recently outgone administration. I've assured Otumfo that we'll complete the Sewa Hospital this year. The completion would allow us to decongest Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital so that important rehabilitation works can continue there. I've spoken to the managers of Eurojet The Invest, who are the contractors, and they have assured me that they will resume work in earnest at the Afari Military Hospital, ensure the speedy completion of that facility, and boost the local economy.
That was President John Dramani Mahama assuring the people of the Ashanti region and Otumfo about the completion of the Sewa Regional Hospital by the end of the year. We know that in the dying days of President Akufo-Addo's administration, the Sewa Hospital was commissioned without the approval or concern of the contractors, that's Euro The Invest Company Limited, who contracted or constructed the Sewa Hospital. Now, according to them, the Sewa Hospital was not complete. There were some works that had to be done, but the president, together with his team, went ahead to commission the place. Now the place is not functioning. President John Dramani Mahama hopes to complete the hospital together with the contractors by the end of the year. We hope to see where this goes, as it will ease congestion at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. Now let's still stay on government, as the Minister of State for Government Communications, Felix Ofosu-Kwakye, has clarified the funding of the Hajj village, stating that the facility is being constructed by the Ghana Airports Company Limited without any taxpayer contribution. In a statement shared on X, Mr. Kwakye reiterated the government's stance on the project, dispelling rumors that public funds were being used for its construction. This clarification comes amid growing interest and debate about the purpose and financial sources of the project. Now, President John Dramani Mahama officially cut sword for the construction of the new Hajj village on Friday, February 28, 2025. The facility is designed to support Ghanaian Muslims embarking on the sacred pilgrimage to Mecca. As part of this year's Hajj arrangements, President Mahama has also announced plans to airlift 5,000 Ghanaian pilgrims. The construction of the Hajj village aims to enhance efficiency and organization, providing a smoother departure experience for pilgrims. On your screen currently is the proposed look of the new Hajj village. If completed, this is what it looks like: the terminal view, the residences, the aerial views as well have been projected. Now, this, the residences especially, is one that the Muslims have expressed the excitement over. Why? Because anytime it's time for them to depart from Ghana to Mecca, tents are erected for them to be housed in for the period as they prepare to depart from Ghana to Mecca. They live in the tent, and they have met with a lot of excitement. But now let's walk you through the statement put out by Felix Ofosu-Kwakye, the Minister of State in charge of Government Communications. Now he says, fact, the Hajj Village is primarily an airport terminal building for check-in and pilgrimage facilitation owned and being built by the Ghana Airports Company. Not a peswa of taxpayers' money is involved. Now, this was released on the 2nd of March 2025 from Felix Kwakye Ofosu, the Minister of State in charge of Government Communications. Until we get to see, I think in coming days, we get to understand exactly what this means and who really is behind or what forces are behind the Ghana Airports Company as it is going to be able to fund such a project, because looking at it, it's quite, a developmental project, and we need a lot of funds. And we hope that in coming days we get some clarity. Right now there's clarity, but it's not too much clear. We hope that in coming days we get to understand what really is happening at the Hajj Village. But now let's do some MPP news, where 6 constituency executives of the New Patriotic Party in the Pusiga constituency have been suspended by the party. Now, in a letter dated February 20th, 2025, and signed by the Upper East Regional MPP Chairman Antony Namo Esquire, the affected executives have been directed to step aside and appear before the Regional Disciplinary Committee over alleged anti-party behavior. Now, the suspended executives include Awini Emmanuel, the Constituency Communication Officer, Belingumse Sawuda, the Second Vice Chairman, Haruna Salam, the Assistant Secretary, Kasuga Jacob, the Treasurer of the party, Salifu Ibn Adam, the Election and Research Officer, as well as Idrisu Kadiri, the Deputy Nasara Coordinator. However, according to the suspended communication officer, Awinimi Emmanuel, he states that they are yet to be informed of any offences committed. Now, you want to trust MX24 News to bring you updates about this development in Pusiga and get to know why these people have been suspended, aside the anti-party behavior. And even if it's an anti-party behavior, what anti-party behaviors are they being suspended over? We would be bringing you updates with regards to that. But now let's still stay on the minority Badu Parliament, where the minority in Parliament boycotted a 3-day orientation program for members of the 9th Parliament currently underway at the Volta Serene Hotel in Ho, citing concerns over the venue selection and the cost involved. Now, they believe the choice of location is politically motivated. Speaker of Parliament Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin revealed at the opening session of the program that the minority side, made up of members of the New Patriotic Party, formally communicated their decision to opt out on the night of Friday, February the 28th, 2025. Expressing disappointment, Speaker Bagbin described their stance as regrettable and unjustified, stressing the importance of the training. Now let's take a listen to the Speaker.
We lost a very great opportunity because the turbulence of Parliament once again has shown. I only saw a WhatsApp message last night that our colleagues, our brothers and sisters of the New Patriotic Party have opted out, giving a reason that is completely unacceptable. There's good reason why we choose venues for this. It's not partisan. There's always a search party, and they go around, discuss with the various hospitalities, look at the cost components, their facilities, their suitability, the convenience of your movement, because there are other pressures on you, and there are score marks before we decide where to go. There's no partisanship in this at all. This time around, the parliamentary service followed the same. That is what is done. And the final results are brought to the Speaker. And until I have a very good reason why it shouldn't be at that place, I just give my approval. And to have 276 members of parliament and staff, because the staff work with you. And if you don't build the capacity of the staff, the institution, they will not be in the position to serve you, to provide what you need to be able to satisfy the immeasurable, unlimited demands of the country, of your people, and of the world. So it's usually a large number of people. The reason is that the cost component is too much, and they don't want to be part of that. We don't want to talk. Please don't allow your political differences to enslave you. Don't be also enslaved by our history. And that's one of the biggest challenges we have in this country. What our grandfathers did is what has enslaved us. And who will emancipate us from our mental slavery? Nobody except ourselves.
That was the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, speaking about, sharing his regret about the boycotting of the orientation by the members of the minority caucus in Parliament. Well, so unfortunate, but that's what has been happening in Ghana over the weekend and in the past 24 hours. My name is August. Maybe you want to say something?
So now that they don't have the actual orientation to be in Parliament, are they going to be in Parliament?
But with the same minority.
Oh, it's unfortunate. I think we should put Ghana first before anything. Right. And the minority leader should actually make sure that his members are doing the right thing. This boycotting thing is not going to benefit any Ghanaian, and it only makes you unpopular. Right. It only makes you look terrible, because they didn't go there to go and even do an NDC meeting. It wasn't an NDC meeting that you were invited to. It was your orientation that is part of our constitution. It's part of the constitution that governs the Parliament of Ghana. That at some point in your coming to Parliament, you'll be given an orientation as to how you behave in Parliament or what you do in Parliament, right? The other day, I think one of the appointments committee members, I have forgotten his name, he was asking the Speaker to pardon certain people for certain things they did in Parliament. Right. There was supposed to be a document that was supposed to, I think the majority chief whip, I believe. There was a document that was supposed to be shared among everybody to know what the person was going to speak about. It wasn't done. And he had to plead on the person's behalf that, they're new in Parliament, so they needed to be taken through some orientation. So once they go through that, they will teach them all of those things. So they should pardon them just because they're new. They're new, right. And so there are people from the NPP as well that are pretty new to Parliament. You've actually robbed them of all of that knowledge. How are they going to... Right. Do you know what I mean? So it's unfortunate. Well,
for me, I think it's also unfortunate, but then the justification here would be if we get to see the budget allocation or how much is actually spent, because according to the minority, the cost involved is high, and that. So we would want to see the budget allocation.
Something they have never done before, right?
No. Then we get to compare and see which one was high, and then we get to see if their actions are justifiable. I'm not trying to justify their actions, but then I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I think it's really unfortunate, right, that they think there's any justification for any action of that sort.
Right.
The bottom line is you have to go through. So what?
Okay.
So if we're asking that action, this will have to go through the orientation to be in Parliament, then that means that a different meeting has to be put together, a different orientation has to be put together for them.
Right.
It's unfortunate. It cannot be done that way. So once they heard about the orientation and they knew where it was going to go to, they should have pushed up against it before the date was confirmed.
Well, that's all for the morning news on the AM Club. Remember that the National Economic Dialogue or the National Economic Forum 2025 will be happening today, this morning through till tomorrow. You want to stay glued to MX24. All our social media handles, MX24GH, MX24 News, as well as MX24.app/voting voices. A lot of work will be done on the portal today, so you want to stay glued to that as well. My name is Adam Kobi. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you so much, Adam Kobi, for coming through with those stories. Now we're going to move straight to some sports right after this.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Sports on the M Club. My name is Sedina Madman, and as always, we held down by Betway. Betway bringing you way more chances to win each and every time. And this time, it's all about the new experience with the help of auto cash out, partial cash out, and early cash out features available on the platform. Log on today and start betting on your favorite sports, not only football. There are other sports also on the platform for you to enjoy. Remember to always use these three features to maintain that supreme control over each and every stake. Log on to www.betway.com.gh and start playing responsibly today. Remember that this is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. With Betway, you guaranteed that you would always get way more. Good morning, Mimi. How was your
Good morning. I like your flying tie.
Thank you.
Shade and pun intended.
Oh, no shade and
Shade
no
and pun intended.
No shade and no pan.
Shade and pun
No
intended.
problem. No problem.
How are you doing?
I'm managing.
How was your weekend? You don't look like you had rest at all. Your eyes look like you just literally woke up.
No. I'm a little bit under the weather. So yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
We good. Once we have life, the rest to take care of itself.
Do you think Ghana is worth celebrating when it comes to the conversations on Ghana Month? Because you know we're in Ghana Month, so we're definitely going to be doing a few things to celebrate. A lot of people are saying, what are we celebrating? You people, we are not coming to reset Ghana, so when we finish resetting Ghana, then we can now talk about celebration. What do you think?
Yeah, we need to celebrate each and every day because religiously, it's by the grace that we are even alive. Talk less have that mindset of selecting which one to celebrate or not. So the first thing of all is gratitude. We need to be thankful that we are alive and here. Secondly, we need to be thankful for our peace. That's the second one. We need to be thankful for our peace. If you don't appreciate your peace, go live 1 hour in a war-torn country, and then you'll be able to appreciate the peace you enjoy here. Thirdly, you need to enjoy freedom. If you like, don't go and live in a prison. No, go and live in another person's country where you are obliged to behave in a certain way. Then you come down here and you enjoy freedom. The fourth and final one, we need to start rejoicing in advance because we need to have a change of mind. Thank you for the word, so sweet.
Thank you so much. Sports journalists will know beyond sports. Let's get into sports now.
Anyways, let's get into sports, and we would start off with some disturbing news first of all, and we're still waiting for the GFA with regards to what they would say concerning the incident involving a Trump division over the weekend where their bus was allegedly attacked by fans of True Democracy. Yes, as we are looking to bring back the league, that's the main league, we need to work on security of teams to and fro the match venues. Now let's get into some more Division 1 action as Real Tamale United, they secured a 2-0 victory over Tamale Cities, securing a 10-point gap at that particular stand in Zone A inside the Ghana Premier League Division 2, which is sponsored by a big bank in Ghana. Also, DBB United in their zone got a 1-1 draw against Wafamano Mighty Royals in Zone 1B, securing 31 points. Swedro All Blacks are back in the news as they won their 14th game this season by a 2-0 over Future Stars, with midfielder Ebenezer Amwa scoring the decisive goal. Now, when you get into the Volta region, Hokwa United, they defeated former Premier League side Okwewu United 2-1. They actually came from a goal down to end this victory, securing a 4-point advantage at the top of table in Zone 3. So these three teams are looking to make it into the Ghana Premier League, hopefully next season. But the Ghana Premier League returns this particular Friday after all the teams are agreeing to the various security measures that have been put in place. Away from the local scene, let's do some international action as FA Cup holders Manchester United, they were knocked out of the competition on penalties by Fulham after Bet Leno saved penalties from Lindelof and Joshua Zexi. round of the competition. Now, moving on in that particular draw of the FA Cup in the next round, Bournemouth will be facing off with Manchester City. Fulham will play Crystal Palace, and those are some of the top liners for that particular sequence. Much later today, the final game of this round will be happening between Nottingham Forest and Ipswich, and we're looking forward to see the winner of that particular game go on into the next round of the competition. Now let's get into some NBA action, where Aaron Naismith, he scored a career high of 27 points, as Pascal Siakam also added 20 points for the Indiana Pacers to defeat the Chicago Bulls by 127 to 112. Naismith, who is a fifth-year guard who's also returning from a long-term injury, shot 6. In the newly created play-in finals to get into the playoffs. What interesting times lie ahead. Anyways, that's that as far as that is concerned with regards to sports on the AM Club. We're back at 4 p.m. with more highlights from the world of sport. Remember, we're held down. We're always held down by Betway. Betway, they are bringing you way more chances to win, and this time it's all about having full control of your stake. Just make sure you use early cash out, partial cash out, and also auto cash out features to enjoy your betting experience on www.betway.com.gh. Log on and start placing your bet responsibly today. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. With Betway, you guaranteed that you would always get way more. Meme.
I saw on social media this morning, or last night, or at dawn, that Pastor Jimmy of Nigeria was praying for Manchester United. So are they 14th on the?
Yeah, so they are 14th on the league log.
League log, yes.
And they are out of the Carling Cup. They are out of the FA Cup. They won't win the league, even if all the other teams stop playing ahead. Even the top teams in the top half. If Liverpool decide they won't play again, I don't.
It's not going to be the team that would...
No. And it's only left with their Europa adventures. And next for them on Thursday, we'll find out how that one would also go. They play against a Spanish side, Real Sociedad, and it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. But near Didier, I just say hopefully he sees your plight and comes to save you. Please, I'm not a Manchester United fan.
Well, okay, you're not?
Yeah.
What team do you support again?
Yeah, so West Ham.
West Ham?
Yeah. Mo Kudus.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Mo Kudus.
Okay, so Manchester United fans out there, that's Amorim's people.
Yeah, I am Murray.
I'll catch up with all the fun, the breaking news stories, sports and business insight on mx24online.com. Thank you so much now for coming through. It's always exciting. We still have our fight to continue after the show, so make sure not to go. Now let's take a dive into the world of entertainment and showbiz with Daphne Flashley right after this.
Visit www.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Entertainment News segment right here at the AM Club Coffee Daily. My name is Daphne Flashley, and as usual, I'm so excited to see you. Do you know why? Because it looks like you're dating a billionaire and you're not telling us. You're not giving us the memo. But you know when someone says that, me when I'm rich, I won't tell you, but you see the sign.
You see the sign.
Have you won any betting? Aviator madness, no Shemubia.
Why are you giving yourself pressure to know about me? Because there are a lot of things a lot of people don't know about me.
First of all, I hope this weekend you didn't marry.
No, I didn't get married this weekend.
Thank you very much. Who knows? Maybe,
I mean, you just know.
Maybe you sold that day you married, right? If you tried to do red carpet, came back and then went for reception. Who knows?
It's very possible.
It's very possible.
It's very, very possible. I was asking someone if you had like $1 million contract to execute on your wedding day, what would you do? He said, Madam, 20 minutes wedding, no. Maybe in the park, then I go, because that's the man that will take care of us in the marriage.
Exactly.
So we finish proper. Else, someone will stand in for me to do my wedding. I say, I'm not even mad.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
All I'm trying to say is you look really lovely.
Thank you, my love.
You've been looking lovely since. I saw the weekend you looked lovely, and when you were going to church, you were spot on. Today, you're looking amazing in your Ankara, right?
Yes.
Ankara suit. It's lovely.
You look amazing yourself. You're looking rich, auntie. You're giving the pearls after. Like they just brought out the oysters.
I have a tea, cup of tea. I have a tea, something coming up.
You look amazing.
Thank
you look
you,
amazing.
thank you.
How you doing? How was your weekend?
My weekend?
At least you know how my weekend was.
Yeah, every day you ask for my weekend. Okay.
Wahala for who no find love, oh God, wahala.
Don't ask me again.
I won't ask you again from today. I'll not ask you about your weekend again.
Because the weekend be weekending, okay?
Yeah. But
right.
what's happening in the world of entertainment with the weekend?
I'm not going to start the entertainment without talking about how amazing you and Jay did on the red carpet at the FinTech Awards. Oh, you guys.
We are humble.
Hey.
We cannot help.
God made you people for each other in this industry because...
We're sorry, but we can't help it.
I know. And that is why
it.
they'll always say you are dating forever. ever.
But point of correction, though, he is a whole married man.
Exactly.
And we have never dated, okay?
All right, so let's get into it. The Ghana's FinTech Awards 2024 took place on Saturday, March 2nd, 2025 at the Labadi Beach Hotel, recognizing in the achievement of financial technology, companies and banking institutions. The annual event aimed to promote Ghana's fintech competitive advantage, drive economic growth, and achieve financial inclusion. The ceremony, which featured a red carpet hosted by Miriam Mensah and Jay Kojo Dasebre, honored individuals and companies for their efforts in building sustainable and competitive business in the fintech sector. Let's take a look at some videos.
success at the end of the day. So your guess is as good as ours if you really want to find out who is taking what tonight. 26 categories and a whole lot more. Tonight is the night for Ghana FinTech Awards 2024. So without wasting much more time, let's take a breather. When we do come back, we'll definitely be talking to much more people. It's looking, the ambience right now,
supercharged. Supercharged.
Oh my.
Do you want us to acknowledge some of the sponsors and partners who are on board this? We want to say big thank you to Huawei, KGL Group, Margent ID Group, of course, Wopeka. Ladies and gentlemen, the drive here was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed it. You know, when for the ladies, once you're done with your makeup and everything, you need to
tell me all about it.
AC is necessary.
AC is necessary.
AC is necessary.
Or else the makeup will burn.
Yeah, it will burn the look. I want to say big thank you to Opeka for giving us a smooth ride to this place. Of course, Yellow Card as well. Bazara, M-Tech, Liquid, and Swomunam. Yes, Swomunam has something special for us this year.
Very much so. So Swomunam is going to be doing something very special.
This year, Huawei Ghana Limited and Margins Group as our gold sponsor, who we are forever grateful to for their invaluable support and commitment to advancing Ghana's fintech ecosystem. Thank you once again, Huawei.
Some years ago, he was one of those tasked at looking into the purported Russian interference in the 2016 elections in the United States. And he has an important quote. He says, especially as most of you are from corporate Ghana, business, there are only two types of companies. Those that have been hacked.
They not only result in financial losses, but also undermine consumer confidence and trust. Ladies and gentlemen, as we advance our digital infrastructure, it is crucial that we invest in the ecosystem. Globally, we had a 3% increase from 2023 to 2024. Investment into tech ecosystem, including fintech, was about 314 billion globally in 2024. And interestingly, it was a headline year for artificial intelligence. I'm sure we all know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sam. That's been a very insightful presentation. Thank you for that. So, KPMG.
All right. Well, I'm not. There's some non-parts. There's some non-parts.
The winner, the FinTech Company of the Year, gets to go and hang out with their customers and workers, 50 people at Swomunam. Yes, so
which company was that?
What's the name of the company?
Because who knows? Maybe I saved it.
Please give us the name of the company.
I've started to save it.
And transact, right? And transact. You can't like.
We transact. We transact.
E-transact actually. E-transact.
You see, we transact. Please, should we do the transaction right now? Don't do that.
So E-Transact was the FinTech Company of the Year. Wow. They get to have a date with 50 people, and so hopefully we get to be invited, and we're going to show up.
Who gets to be invited?
Myself and Jay.
That's great. Plasio. I always make you guys excited and happy. You see, that's why I'm smiling.
I give up. I was thinking nice.
Thank you so much, E-Transact, for the invite. I'll definitely show up and show out there. Definitely won't eat the whole day. So thank you so much. Anyway, a very big congratulations to us. I'm super excited.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really proud of you. Anyway, moving away from that, and it looks like there's drama in Nollywood.
Is it?
Yeah, there is drama.
What is it again?
So, Regina Daniels went on a break. Social media break. Now, this lady came back and she's taking off her husband's name, Nyoko, from her name. So I don't know if you guys can show that. So, you know, first she used to be Regina Daniels Noko, right? But now she's Regina Daniels Nyamaka Favor. Favor. It surrounds you like a shield. Wow.
Me from now.
Wow. Wow.
You know, my very good friend from Nigeria was telling me about the rituals that was done.
Yeah.
For her.
Yeah,
even if
even after you can get married again, even after divorce. If should in case they're divorcing, you can't get the rituals that was part of it. You can't remarry.
They really did this girl dirty, yeah?
But they did her dirty. But I also think, like, I mean, for what reason? If I'm hearing why she left because he's bringing a new wife, I'll say, I mean, he had other five wives before you joined. So what's the, or did they do a contract or something?
So apparently, Charlie, you can't, again, you make a very salient point by saying, listen, she came to meet other wives. They're not fighting it. They're not leaving the marriage because of her.
Exactly.
So she should know. But I don't think this girl mentally prepared for this. She was married young. All this thing, I'm telling you that, the mother is to be blamed. Me, I always find her mother really annoying on social media, please, and she's doing all those things. I really find it really annoying because you handed over your very young daughter to this man to marry, allowed her to go through that very inhumane process of denying herself of any form of enjoyment. Look at the age gap. If between the two of them, we are not asking anybody to die, but if you look at the way young people die, old people die, but between the two of them, who's I don't want to say what I want to say because we are in television. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Well, let's get into it. Nollywood actress Regina Daniels has returned to Instagram with significant changes to her page, fueling speculations about her possible marital rift with her husband Ned Nyoko, following rumors of Nyoko planning to marry an additional wife. Daniels has removed most photos and videos featuring her husband, although some posts, including these celebrating their son's birthday and stepson's birthday, remain. Notably, she has also dropped her husband's surname Nyoko from her Instagram bio, now identifying as Regina Daniels Nyamaka Favor. Daniels or Nyoko, who tied the knot in 2019, share 2 sons together. It makes me feel like, so the potential to be in a relationship with someone as young as you and everything, you had to let all that go, you know, and being put in motherhood at such a young age, because she married 18. I'm sure by 20 she had given birth.
You know, I almost missed what you said from the beginning. But now, because I think this issue hurts me.
Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, like the potential of she getting into a very young relationship, you know, grow together, have all the beauty that it comes with. She's been robbed of all of this. Only for this. If really that conversation is true, hey, women, we are struggling.
Anyway, we're still in, you know, Nollywood Wahala.
Okay.
Yes, but as Peter Okoye's management has denied allegations made by his brother Paul Okoye that he is responsible for their older brother Jude Okoye's legal troubles, Jude is facing a 1.38 billion naira fraud case by the Economic and Financial Crime Commission and was remanded in prison until his bail hearing in March. Paul accused Peter of putting Jude in this situation, but Peter's manager, Imem Kush, dismissed the claim, stating that the case is between the EFCC and Jude Okoye, and Peter has nothing to do with it. These brothers, like, stop already. These brothers. And it's crazy to see these two people that we've loved their music since we were young, and fine, they had a misunderstanding, they sorted it out, they're back together. What at all? You see, the thing is, it's just all about conversational. Just all about conversation.
This same Jude is the same reason why apparently the separation happened. This same Jude gets into trouble. It's still them problem.
This same Jude said this one stole his song. I'm winning, you winning. You remember I spoke about it here. I spoke about the song.
Yes,
He played the song.
should remain in that police station because he seems to be causing a lot of trouble between these twins.
Right.
Quite honestly, if you look at the trajectory of their fights, it's becoming a bit too much. And Peter is not EFCC. If even though upon still, regardless, if
he went to report him or something.
If they didn't have a case against him, they would not detain him. Do you understand what I'm saying? So. It's just sad. But let's see where this goes.
Sad. We'll see where it goes, and definitely I'm here to give you an update. We're moving away from that. Let's do something international. Yesterday was the Oscars, and I'm excited about that because we had so many performances, so many winners, and beautiful red carpet looks. And so let's take a look at some videos and some things that happened at the Oscars.
mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24. Fun, fearless, and factual.
His second leading man Oscar for The Brutalist. Mickey Madison took home the Best Actress statuette, and Anora was crowned Best Picture on its way to 5 awards Sunday. And Kieran Culkin won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for his work on A Real Pain, and Zoe Saldana won for her work in Emilia Perez. Sean Becker had a stunning night, winning the Screenplay Director and Editing Awards for Anora. Flo beats The Wild Robots for Best Animated Feature Film, while Paul Tazewell became the first black man to win an Oscar for costume design for his work on Wicked. That's amazing. Now, let's take a look at some red carpet looks from the Oscars. So, Kiki Palmer.
Okay.
Wow. Moving on to the next. This is beautiful. This is Storm Reid. I didn't like the shoe.
You didn't like the shoe?
I didn't like the shoe.
The shoe was matching with the belt. I think it's cool.
Oh, I didn't see the belt. Because I was
Pay attention to details, young lady.
I've seen this lady like act from Nickelodeon, and it's amazing that she's here. But moving on. Ooh! Oh, look at the dress.
She is so graceful. I love this girl. She always looks like I just like this cuteness about her.
People always have something to say. People say she looks sick, this, but in fact, she
looks stunning.
She's okay. She looks stunning.
Who designed this dress?
The thing is, people don't allow people to grow. The masses, they don't allow creatives to grow. When they see a different side of you, like they want that part, like that Kat's Valentine, Ariana Grande Kat's Valentine part where she do pony. So now that she's coming out of her shells and doing different things and venturing into music and movies and all of that, they are like, you look sick and this and
she's
that.
Fine.
She's fine.
She's beautiful, and I love this dress.
I love it. I love it. I'm the inspiration.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's remember with TJ.
What has ever appeared with this thing?
You better ask me what I'm wearing.
Because I am going to tell you about what I'm wearing.
Definitely.
It's beautiful.
Moving on. Oh, it's normal.
Lupita.
What do you think?
No, I think it's classy. It's very, very Iraba, very classy. I love it. I love it.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
This is another inspiration for me.
No, I love this.
This is beautiful.
But Kelly is always killing it.
Yeah. I think that's basically it.
Oh, I love that. No, I love this hair. And am I not sure boobs, but I love the dress. This hair, watch out for it.
The boobs part, why would you put the net?
Net, yes.
Net and beads,
yes.
so that I will cover it. It's for the husband. Husband. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had an amazing time this Monday segment. My name has always been flashy, and I always...
Today, you're in Ghana, so today you are driving.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah. My name is Daphne Rubina. Now I from my. But it's only two that we are using today. Meaning Paul. Sir.
I drive from Poma. They know your name.
They know my name. Wow.
Okay, I drive from Poma. Thank you so much.
It's your fault. You said we'll do it in the news. Freshly.
It's my fault.
Correct yourself.
So, entertainment to you by Adjoa from Poma.
Exactly.
And that's obviously because we're celebrating Ghana Man. So we're coming with our Ghanaian names. Do you know my Ghanaian name? What's it? Sure.
As well.
So the name I'm using, I have quite a number of Ghanaian names. I have Lebanon. I have Akushika. I know. Using Akushika Lebanon. I don't know which one they have used so far.
Right, Akushika Lebanon.
Careful. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Daphne, for coming through. Adjoa from Poma. Okay, I'll get used to this, guys. Give me grace. I'll get used to this. Now, in today's dynamic business environment, workforce is pivotal to achieving success. This is why we have thoughtfully designed our corporate health insurance plans to empower your employees and bolster your organization's performance. With Equity Health Insurance, your investment transcends ordinary insurance. It represents our health plans are individually tailored to accommodate the unique needs of your employee coverage and exceptional support goes beyond administrative tasks and premiums at Equity Health. Please feel free to reach out to us on 050-15151. Data and voice of your needs. We have the unbeatable bundles made just for you. The made for me bundles are affordable, customized data for you. So simply dial 530 hash. News review.
Visit w.mx24online.com for news, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, up-to-the-minute sports updates, and the latest broken pen stories now. Experience more of MX24 Online. Visit mx24online.com today. MX24, fun, fearless, and
day is packed with its own surprises. You never know which thrill is around the corner. How it will play out. There's a sense of excitement.
Did our plane just stop? Another cash out.
That adds a every.
Michael has been exceptional, surpassed all his targets. Let's hear from this year's Staff of the Year.
This wouldn't be possible. All those days of studying together just to ace those tests, which we did, by the way. And those days of the side hustles, you were there. All of these have prepared me for this moment. Cowbell Coffee has been there with me every single step of the way.
For the big days and the seemingly ordinary, creamy Cowbell Coffee is with you every moment.
This advert is FDA approved.
This week,
a person who is willing, I see what you are doing.
Yeah.
I see the load you are carrying. I see that you are going through troubles. I see that you are doing too much for our sake.
Mm-hmm.
How about you create some space for me and empower me? Once you tell me that I can help you so that we can somehow manage the weight. If you look at it from that angle, I think that must be hard, and it has to, because it concerns everyone. Yeah. If I'm not directly, you don't have a sister, someday you have a daughter, you will regret the fact that you didn't empower her enough to make certain decisions.
Right.
You know, so it's very crucial. Absolutely. And I don't think that it should be looked at, you know,
in that line.
In that line, such as, you know, we are making noise. We are not just, we are making noise, absolutely. Indeed, we are about to make more noise, but we need you to understand. We are drumming into your ears because we want change. We want you to be able to help us get to that place.
The society unfortunately helps. Even when they've not seen you engage in there, there's a notion that, oh, abofra we there, nimpokua, by what towards you, even without you realizing it. Because when I was young, I had it already. I didn't even realize I had breast. It was a society. Hey, what was so 90 years? No, I didn't kinds of negative perception onto the young woman before they get to realize that, okay, so I'm a woman. So if a man proposes, it means that I can be in that arena. So that is not the conversation we want to have. A conversation is, let's support them. Let's not say that they are growing. Let's not say that they are alone. Let's not say that they've gotten there, because no matter what, like my mentor would say, we still have mentors. As I'm mentoring, you have a mentor. So we shouldn't let it go. At every stage of every young lady, they need a support, they need encouragement. If you are there, you can just catch any of them, catch them young, and then also make sure they are prim and proper so that they can come back and give back to the society.
Welcome to a brand new season of VIP Access. That's what we're talking about. VIP Access Podcast is back 2024 with a brand new season. It's bigger and badder. From Australia, South Africa, Uganda, Kenya. Season 4 of VIP Access Podcast will once again present you with a cross-section of Africa's brightest music stars and industry gurus, sharing with you tips and tricks to making it in the game. VIP Access will also highlight East Africa's rising artists in hip-hop, Afro house, classical music, Afro pop, and jazz music genres. Brace yourself for an exciting new season that will spotlight the expansion of African music while exploring the role of women in the music industry.
We are walking superheroes, and we sometimes we don't even see it in ourselves.
VIP Access Season 4 is proudly supported by the Australian High Commission.
Step into the world of fashion, where creativity, innovation, and beauty goes hand in hand with style. On Fashion Wednesday, we delve into designers to seasoned professionals. We admire their crafts and vision for fashion's future. Scoop on the latest trends, expert styling tips, and beauty hacks to elevate your the scene. What just it's Fashion Wednesday, where fashion comes to life. Catch Fashion Wednesday every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on MX24 TV.
The legend. KNIILE.
Amazing. On the show, I am John Jermaine.
Drama, betrayal, faith, forbidden love. What would you do when life writes a chapter you didn't ask for? Every broken pen has a story to tell. Every story has a lesson to learn. But the question is, how do you fix it? Broken pen is just the answers you've been looking for. Hi, ladies. Hi. Your story isn't over. Let's fix it to get a cold glass of Nax cocktail. Catch the Broken Pen Show every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on MX24 TV. My name is Yabita, and I am your host. Cheers.
It's still Ghana Month right here on the AM Club, and so we're celebrating Ghana in whichever little way possible we can. And so wherever you find yourself this week, this month of March, eat Ghana, wear Ghana, and of course listen to Ghana as well, because we have some beautiful music that you should be listening to this month. It's only 1 month in the year that everybody agrees that we should use the entire year to celebrate Ghana, but we are specifically and intentionally celebrating Ghana in this month of March because, you know, on the 7th of March, of course, it's so worth calling big. And so let's celebrate Ghana in whichever little way possible we can. Before we get into our news review segment of which is why we are delighted to present our Ebusia Health Plan. This health plan is crafted to promote the enduring health and happiness of you and your loved ones. Our health insurance coverage insurance contact us 601 Equity Care. Fresh has never been easier. Jibu Water provides clean, healthy water you can trust for drinking and cooking. With options of our innovative 20-liter bottle, a tap will have a breath of new and fresh water, or as our clean water, our hygienic Jibu water flows through them. Whether you need a cool drink to quench your thirst, 0587-817, sorry, 0209845. Say the best, okay? The best on the market, the best, a better life for you. Okay, now let's get into our news review segment. Joining us in the studio, Ibrahim Gomna, he's an MP communications team member, and also, studios. Thanks for the conversation. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm great.
How was your weekend?
Oh, it was great, and happy new month to you.
And happy Ghana month.
Yes.
To you too. We're celebrating Ghana. Do you think that we've gotten to a point where talking about celebrating you or is be taken as a big deal?
Yes. I think last week there were conversations around why the need for the Ghana month celebration.
Yes.
Ghana has come a long way. Our forefathers fought very well to position us where we find ourselves today, and it's only prudent that a month like this we reflect, remind ourselves of where we have come from, and there's the need to celebrate ourselves, celebrate our country, our music, our food, everything. I mean, it's worth celebrating our country.
Yes. Also joining us for the conversation, Julius, Kwame, Antony, Communications, Presidency, Communications. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing? What's Ghana up to tell me? What is Ghana to find?
Well, it appears already for.
So officially you've been booked for
yeah, sure.
I think about it whilst we're going through this. But life is going for me. I've advised myself. But you never know. One day. How was
on Ghana Connect?
Yeah, I thought brilliant there. Okay. Morning. First of all, we waited impatient. Sona, first one, and I think it went well for most people. The things that they wanted to hear, were hashed. A lot of people also, again, from the MPP side, thought that Lamentations of John Dramani Mahama and during his address that he was not there, and so he was going to touch on issues that were important, but obviously highlight all the issues that we were facing in the country. From there, the MPP, the minority caucus, are not very excited at all about some of the things of John Dramani. Julius, please. What you made statements about?
Well, I think that one thing is fundamental, that we must let clarity to what is required of the 1990 Constitution. It says that the president, at least, is accounting the people of Ghana on the state. The state of this country encompasses national security issues around our position of, for among others. And of all those issues, top on the list for the ordinary Ghanaian is the state of the Ghanaian economy. And so the president is required picture that arises there, whether the president in his account billion Ghana cedis. True or not, that patriotic there. Billion 2.2 is that true or not? Is it true or not that Cocoa and most of the it is true. Collecting you call it from ESLA, having met only 10 billion Ghana cedis or 80 billion Ghana cedis. Come and pay. Are those things all true or not? Every credible institution having subjected this statement analysis comes to the conclusion that all these statements are true. The question is making actual representation of your country is that anytime a person tells the truth, then the person is like, if they what the president said, I don't see this position. Beyond the president, the MPP said that the president put an offer for it. The hope is that I think they are still in grieving people, maybe a waste of belief. The proud how he seeks to achieve economic recovery. He stated that our impact to this country, I mean, does not help outline plan to make sure that stabilize the economy. Then young to go to is you call it acquisitions and all of that. And listen to all those things. The obvious center crisis. That he was going to fix that crisis. In fact, there is a record. It became president, the Democratic Party, and the people of Ghana. That yes, the but credit. There's a record of Donald Akufo-Addo saying that, and that policy of the New Patriotic Party throughout the 8 years that they have been in office denied on Ramani Mahama any credit for fixing the revenues which have been collected in ESLA, divert them elsewhere, and leave in more to come and fix. That has been the policy of the New Patriotic Party. So I do see this whole issue about like you'd have seen the place with it. It's a
I mean,
because what are they going to tell us? Because if you ask him, because he's here, you will ask question that they said.
It's going to be presented to the office.
could ask him those questions. If any of the president.
No, it's going to be. I mean, the press today.
Okay.
The minority caucus.
So you'll be able to tell us.
So I think. Thank you very much. Let me see Ramadan Kareem Muslims across the globe, and Julius, this is my first time we meeting on a set like this, and you all come and hope you good. So on the state of our nation, president to present. He's only 2 months. He'll be 2 months of March exactly in government.
Yes.
And when I was asked about what we are expecting,
yes, you mentioned
I
everything.
stated that we are expecting, our country. There are there are 4 or 5 major sectors that we expect every president to focus much. One has to do with the economy, as stated, our security situation, peace and stability, and the general well-being of the people. I listened to the president as part of his constitutional requirements. He presented what they termed as a resetting. I've forgotten their mantra or the slogan they brought about. You see, number one, the president honest. Number one, on our state of security and the peace of the Kufuor handed over a very peaceful country to His Excellency the President. Transition was peaceful. Concession of the former Vice President was peaceful. The NPP handed over a very peaceful country into the hands of John Mahama. And prior to even the official handing over, I stated how the NDC supporters and hooligans across the country had vandalized state institutions, destroyed police stations, looted fertilizers, looted free SHS students' foods, and these are all going to be going to affect our economy. To think about the revocation of employment all across the country illegally on grounds of political affiliations or reasons best known to them. These are all things that do not reflect well to our state. Honest with us with the currency. I wanted to see him admitting to the chaos and the disturbances his party supporters have caused us, including that of Ablekumanov, that we are yet to even have a member of parliament. That aside, you come to the economy. I expected the president to agree that with us that His Excellency the President, former President Nana Akufo-Addo, handed over a rebounding economy, an economy that grew beyond 5%, rising to 6% or more. That was the state of the economy the president handed over, the former president handed over. I expected him to admit to the better achievements and the efforts the former government had put in place. We had by COVID-19 and all the external crisis. Recently, I saw the president lamenting over just a cut of funding from the U.S. government, what do you call it, through their U.S. aid.
I haven't seen it. He made the effect of it.
And I mean, demonstrating
to make my case. But I would like to step in a little bit with some came to act of
no, they are known.
It is the president has been against it. I want to talk about it.
No, I don't know. I've not seen him spoken about it.
Not seen it,
I know, I have not seen him.
So I'm telling you,
he has top figure, the NDC, had openly condemned in my constituency. There, trying to misbehave, and electric poles that he actually purchased with his own money, using to develop or to share to some areas of the constituency that do not have access to electricity for them to have access. They went in to seize these electrodes with reasons best known to them. These are all illegalities. These are all things that must be condemned. We are currently in a state of insecurity as far as our country is concerned.
I'm going to allow you to continue. I'm not cutting. I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to say this. I even released statements to that effect. So I think it has been condemned. Had been condemned excessively.
I would like to be finished with
especially
such a
statement. Seek to speak to an. You owe a duty to the audience. You owe a duty to the platform. Things on the things you come and sit here. And when pointed to you, and when Julius, pointed to
I'm not one of those people. No. Utter lie and I need you. I should tone down. It's fun of bullying. No. I'm
going to allow that this morning. I'm telling you that the president very well. So I to accept that.
Yes.
At least I'm. So the statements from Sami office. So Sami's office. But I saw a video of did not see it.
Yes.
Then it happened.
No, that I have not seen it. I accept.
Ibrahim, you must demonstrate some respect and to some respect.
I'm lying.
I never said that. I'm lying. I never used that word.
Julius,
and you when issues, when you can issues, then you find convenience. Then you find convenience labeling of personality. But we to an that we are looking to.
Yes.
We owe a. Can I land on this? Right. We owe a duty panel provide time to speak to people. That before we and speak on any subject matter, we must do at least a little bit of due diligence before we come here and make a very bold and emphatic assertion that nobody within the ranks of the National Democratic Congress, neither President Mahama, neither the leadership of the National Democratic Congress as an organization spoke against the things you are alluding to. When there is, I mean, enormous evidence of such, that even if you make a simple Google search, that President Mahama cautions NDC members to desist from this or that, you would have found. It speaks in the thing you are to choose. A lot of I have had platforms talk. Who do you think the audience are? That's the question you must answer. And when I speak to these things, I am self and also is right now. But you take it's not a matter to being a bully. It is a matter of you. So doing your just Sami Jemfi Esquire. National emphatically, this act he's speaking. President of the Republic of the is what we mean. The state of something, the status of the condition where the thing is as you speak. Address of Ghana before Parliament. There was no in any building asking anybody to leave or anything. As far as I recall, as far as I recall,
let me just give you an example. I mentioned institution. Your party people.
Is the it's not about
we made our point. It will be
if you don't have issues, you say someone is good. Your girlfriend.
Julius, please give me a minute. 8:16. That is use that. Please retract that. Please, I beg you. I beg you.
He knows.
I beg you. I beg you.
Subjected to.
I beg you.
To his levels of disrespect.
No.
Platforms to rattle, to make so much.
Please listen to me.
I'm listening.
So it's number 4. Yes. And John Dramani Mahama posted this on his X. Brothers and sisters, I come before you to again express my deepest gratitude for your unwavering support on Saturday's election. There's a moment of hope, unity, and opportunity for our great nation. However, I must address a matter of urgent importance. Transition from our administration, from one administration to another creates the impression of a vacuum of power. Certain people are easily compelled to act in their own parochial interests, if the national interest. I have received reports of attacks on state offices and installations. While it is unclear who is behind these attacks, I condemn them in no uncertain terms.
It was clear it's the NDC people. And
your allegation act much but not people.
These people.
Or even address. He had condemned it. His office had condemned it. So I think that that statement and then move on with what
I don't know what's to be retracted.
He will say you are bullying.
I don't know what's to be retracted
on the state of the nation address.
No,
we are allowing.
Come on.
This video
be retracted.
In Saturday's election, this is a moment of hope, unity, and opportunity for our great nation. However, I must address a matter of urgent importance tonight. Transitions from one administration to another create the impression of a vacuum of power, and certain people are easily compelled to act in their own parochial interest instead of the national interest. I've received reports of attacks on state offices and installations. While it's unclear who is behind these attacks, these acts must cease immediately. As I speech, I urge the youth not to vent their frustration in criminal enterprise. Instead, they must channel their anger and frustration into the positive enterprise, resetting and rebuilding our beloved nation. I urge all
not exactly part of the reasons why we were part of the topics that we're going to touch, but because obviously we wanted to state facts on the show. So please, if you didn't hear, just like Ibrahim, he had the president of the Republic of Ghana had emphatically, address this particular issue. And so as of now, I haven't heard, and you are giving us details that you're MP, but as of now, I haven't heard.
Not only MP, There are a lot of state
But all these
institutions.
things have been
Their
condemned.
party known faces went to storm the place.
Right,
And ask people to
let's move the village briefly. Now, people's concern the cutting of the sword for that project is that we were in this country when a president told us that the National Cathedral, or Nana Dodankwe, was not going to involve money, but at some we realized that the taxpayers' money was involved. From you, what you make.
Miriam, you would agree with me that there are three things or three different numbers: ethnicity, and politics. You see, these three areas, people tend to be very extreme. These are the areas you can easily find extremists in any of these things. Religion in particular, some people are very extreme to the extent that when you're making commentary or comments regarding this particular area, you ought to be a bit sensitive in how you go about it. Some years ago, 2019, 2018, when His Excellency, the former president, came about the National Cathedral issue or conversation, the idea was that it was not just going to be a church building that they were putting up to gather and pray, but then also a national monument, a tourist area that would have our history, that people would come in to see a look at some of these things that the state can rake in resources. And the intention was that, or it was clear that the source of funding was going to be corporate Ghana and other international organizations, including we, the individuals. And if when the short codes and the websites were launched, I personally contributed not less than 200 Ghana cedis to these contributions, and until the project began. So at some point, we were learning that some state funds were being used to finance the National Cathedral building, which a lot of Ghanaians became really concerned. But there was a twist to that. The twist was that the politicians, especially Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, who sought to sensationalize the and rein in a lot of political commentary and labeling people and calling people criminals and all of that, of which he wasn't even having any constitutional mandate to label somebody criminal. There were a series of this regarding that. And so when it happens like that, we get to the stage where we push in some hate to some individuals and some beliefs that turns out to be more.
But wasn't it because a promise was broken? Did they touch the COFEX or not?
No, I'm drawing to some point. I'm not in support of using state funds that were not, quote unquote, not that some state funds were going to be used. I was in favor of that. But you see, there was so much of sensationalism regarding that. That notwithstanding, I mean, the National Cathedral conversation is public, all aware where it went to, how politics exploited. We welcome a new president and a new administration. And I yet to have full details regarding the national village construction. As yes. I for Sokwachi post. So when the conversation started, the current MP for Gushago and former minister for a deputy sport regarding the government. That matter, he was question how the president have a comment, and the minister for Fellowship for Sukwati came out and funded by the Ghana Export Company, which as one of their. You see, where I you is that if it's a project that is being done by the Ghana Airport Company Limited, I felt that the whole organization of carrying the sitting president to go and do a ceremony of another shortcutting was one of the reasons why it became a national issue of concern, where others are raking in the conversation of the National Cathedral. Comparing, I've seen on Twitter and Facebook, people are saying, okay, you said National Cathedral was a sin. Today you are funding. The has come, so that's why I'm saying that there are some sensitive areas we must be very of how we run our political commentary on that. The national issue has cemented the reason why the Hajj village conversation has also become too much of partisanship, where we are comparing. And henceforth, politicians, in as much as they would want to exploit situations to gain political favor, we must be very measured in dealing with these areas. I mentioned ethnicity, religion, and even our politics. We must be a bit watchful on how exploit situations.
So he's just showing up there and being a part of the celebration.
It has been done by the company limited. I think it will come. You had of he's going to cut sword for this. So people, okay, you said the National Cathedral construction was evil.
Look like I hate.
Some people are thinking. To question why his opposition party felt that using funds to fund the National Cathedral was wrong. Criminality to the funding. I am against the state funds that they were using to the. But then, for my the current look as though some criminality had occurred for the former finance minister vote to fund that. I really think that we must be very, as political you for the aged, on how we make commentaries into religious issues. We can have national, but when we try political exploitation, they may move beyond where Ghana is when it comes to our religious tolerance. We must be very how we go about these things.
Mr. Julius.
Yes.
Anthony.
Miriam.
Yes, sir.
Some honorable black on the conversation on National Cathedral. The Honorable Sam Nati. All the your producers submit me to education were emphatic on the point that we are not module by reason by you crisis by yourself. Two, the timing, the timeline was on of the project. Project because the president in that example of cathedrals in Rome, which construction some even, I mean, only give the new patriotic party, the then new patriotic party, of first approval, which we questioned the construction. The second ground was here. March 2024 with beautiful conversation. And I told you here at marketing Antwerp. President Kufuor has at marketing a national cathedral. If you can check 11th of March and say, and my reason in the national cathedral as a tourist in this in Africa, in Cuba, and the tourist element of which could have failed. The basis of saying the argument they are making would say, I read tourism has an to it. For example, I go and see the chapel because they, you know, the paintings have gone to visit, you know, Israel because they told me miracles. For example, history does not. I was of the view that would fail, and so people in this country who share the same view on the tourism element would fail, because you are saying this of the 75 any part of the world to see a semblance of the Ghana of when I can go to Israel and see the thing. Those were some of the arguments we made and said that it was not the most sane propositions. Very same most sane. Again, I stand I stand by them. The next thing, if you want to do a okay, if it is a sane proposition to build that, because I the whole absolutist approach to, you know, religion and state separation, because if you study most the religion and all of those things, and so if you are suddenly insisting on a see you still the same, because most of the best schools in this country are built to economic authority. Why would justify on those bases stick strictly on which I was opposed to national cathedral? The Ghana Airport Company make organizations which ensure it makes from Hajj pilgrimage, so long as there would continue to happen, so long as this country would continue to happen. And so if you abandon the religion and state separation, you know, a argument that the construction of Hajj village, that that the government make laws potential terminal. The fact that it is Muslims going to use does not problem that people are going to use and travel to Mecca. Just the argument of who the audiences get in a abandoned as a profit-making venture, which is so glaring. Sense of organizational money and any avenue and tell me party is making a construction of that. So please, easy to whip sensation and so criticize this. I see them making invitations to people, pointing people, and oh, we are neutral, you are against. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense that I leave Israel and But it makes sense for the government to make into a 100% certainty that so long as there are pilgrimages to Rome, it's going to be makes sense. That is what we are saying. Should happen slowly. We are faced. The government of John Mahama by putting up arguments that could seem that actually do wrongs. And as we speak, it's too much. For criticisms against the government on baseless grounds. On basis of the fact we were serious wrongs. Telling them before Parliament that you are not going to use their money for something, then you turn around and you do not, or you do quickly. Those were the issues that the National Cathedral. Is it the same for the Hajj village? Analysis so far is proving double venture.
I think
it is easy for you to try and whip religion, but when it is subject to the rigors of common sense, principles that I was against National Cathedral.
Thank you so much, Julius. On the NSS having a military training inculcated in its practices coming up very soon. I just graduated from school, so I quickly just touch on it. Quickly done. I'll engage brief comments so we can.
Before I.
No. That.
Yes.
Just quickly touch on it.
Yes, quick. You know, when I got here, one of your was making a presentation, and he actually provided the reason provided by the minority for boycotting the workshop. It was really not the fact. The reasons have been stated clearly. The reason why the minority boycotted the workshop in Volta Serene Hotel has nothing to do with political bias.
Okay.
The 8th Parliament had patronized the Volta Serene Hotel on few occasions or some occasions. Even the government, some government agencies do patronize it during the Akufo-Addo administration.
Okay.
The reason had everything to do with cost.
Okay.
That the times we find ourselves, were not good for us to move the entire Parliament out there to go and spend that, because I remember in 2024 so a movement to a different region was rejected by the minority, and then that. So now back to the.
I think my producer says you've exhausted your time. Don't have military. This friend of mine has decided.
Where they, discipline that military. I mean, not what we are. Someone they are discussing about military and consistency. I think we need that. It's already in our laws.
But I think lots of African countries already.
A lot of us already do. So what I look for see.
My we just graduated, and I think some people graduated. So
I saw some military officers indicating that the university graduates will come and meet the SS graduates.
Oh,
and you'll be slapped.
It's always like
gentlemen, thank you so much for coming there. I hope it brought clarity to some of the conversations as to on the show Monday. plug right after this.
Sisi must send you a BS Kamano into me chemo. Padrona Pontine.
Swa.
Sending money from Telecel Cash to Telecel Cash is free. You can also make payments to merchants on all networks with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
I want to find out one thing. What happened with you and Cookie?
One day Cookie calls me and says, bro, I want to do my solo album. Ghana, if somebody right now, go talk to your man right now, they go blacklist you. Event organizer self, they go boom on it, balance money.
Only this was a part of our group. One of the times we feature on 9,010 labs. Fluid. So I called him. So speak to my manager. Where?
Patience is a virtue that carries a lot of weight. Yeah. Always know that you live to fight another day.
I feel say we musicians, one thing we like do, we know how to, but the business part, we know the add them to whatever we do.
Right now, as I stand here, everything is about marketing. If I do
the people I was looking up to, these two boys called famous people. Their work looked like they had like they were like 17 people or 20 people.
Okay, you're watching.
Hi guys, how you doing? This is your boy SDK, and I'm here on MX24. It's fun. It's fearless. And it's factual.
What's up, everyone? My name is Adina Thembi, and you're watching MX24. We are fun, fearless, factual. Get it right.
What's up? My name is Akwabwa, and you guys are watching MX24. Keep watching. I love you.
They say the portion they gave me was unknown. What I will become was never ever told. Now you're watching the beast in me unfold. I'm immortal. Dracula untold. What's up, people? This is your rap goddess, Eno Baroni, and you watching MX24. Watching one dead.
Your songbird Jackie, keep watching MX.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Last Minute. You watching MX24.
You know what it is up on our yeah. Big shout out to MX24. Keep watching. It's up on our Malians.
Yo, what up? What's up? This be Quasi out there, and keep watching MX24. Keep it locked. D-da-day.
Drink in my hand, I'm vibing. Uber waiting outside. I don't care, I'm still in my towel, dancing in my towel. Hey guys, it's me, your one and only Davi Diva, Black Star Barbie, Feli Nuna, and you're watching MX24. Don't go nowhere, cause Davi Diva Ejeleme says so. Mwah.
The legend. KNIILANTE.
It's a decision.
That love me.
Amazing. On the show, I am Jermaine.
You're welcome back to the show right here on MX24. I hope you had a good one. And I'm waiting for your questions regarding this particular conversation of whether or not we can you can do that comparison between the National Cathedral and the Hajj Village. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying with us right here on the show. If you're just joining in, you were a little late, but you made the right choice because we're about to have a conversation that will excite you. If you are Jesus baby, your class prefect is here. If you're Jesus baby, your headmistress, I'm the class prefect, your headmistress is here. Right, joining me for the conversation today is Reverend Rita Ampofo. I miss her. I asked her, so in the good morning, ma'am. How are you doing?
Good morning. Great to see you.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Maybe I should say official to you because I mean,
you share it this year.
Yes.
It's every year. We share how many times? They count it based on the programs we have for the year.
Exactly.
Twice.
Hopefully more than that.
Hopefully more than that.
Yes.
We have to exceed this position we are at.
Sure.
So you're looking amazing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
I was trying
you're not looking bad yourself.
Thank you. I'm trying. I tried to pronounce the
name of the conference.
The name of the conference.
Yes.
And I know I didn't do great, but I would like you to mention it and let's see how I did.
Okay, so you're not far from wrong if you say you couldn't, because it's not English. It's a Greek word. So it is pronounced doulos.
Doulos.
Yes,
that's what I said.
Yes, it's pronounced doulos. And it simply means, I mean, biblically, in biblical context.
Yes.
And when Apostle Paul writes and says he's a servant, the word he uses there is doulos, which means a bond servant, someone who has a master and is submitted to the person to obey and to do what the master requires. So that is basically what the word doulos is.
Yes. Okay, there we have it. Some clarity here. Yeah. So you see, I didn't do bad. But you're joining us to have the conversation around this particular conference. It's happening soon. Why the need for a conference that teaches serving or being a servant?
Yes.
Tell me why the need for that.
Right. So we are the people of God. And when we want to serve God and his church, we need to do it the way God requires us to do it. Like I said before, in defining doulos, a bond servant. But you know, when you have a servant, there's a way you want the people to serve you. And the people that come into your fold, especially in the context of church. Now, this conference is rooted in that, to equip people, anyone who is passionate about serving Christ and his church. And in fact, in serving, we are looking at people in church, be they pastors, evangelists, teachers, prophets, and whatever, and volunteers. Anyone who is passionate about serving people, God's people. You could be in the marketplace, but you're serving God's people. So this is to equip you and help you build capacity to do it the way the master requires us. Because we all have my master.
Yes.
You sit here, you have a master.
I do.
I mean, who requires you to do things a certain way. And Jesus Christ, with Christ, standards are high, and we can't drop those standards. So doulos is here to equip us. We are doing something already, but we have to do it better. And the better way to do it is to build capacity. And from starting tomorrow, yes, we have less than 24 hours. Tomorrow, by this time, we would already be gathered for doulos. So starting tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, there are seasoned speakers. Amen. The best in the world are gathering from tomorrow through to the 6th of March. To help us understand what it means to serve. Even if we do, we have to understand it better and give God's people the best. If anybody should be given the best, it should be people who are serving others in God's name.
Absolutely. And this is happening from tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow
location,
morning.
Please.
Tomorrow morning at Christ Temple East.
Okay.
You were there last year.
I was so.
Yes.
That's so far one of my favorite buildings in Ghana.
It's a maiden edition starting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And because of the urgency of the times we're living, it's a whole day's conference. A morning session starting in the morning at 9, 1 p.m. for the afternoon, and then 5 p.m. for the evening session.
Oh, 3 sessions per day?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
All through the day.
Wow. So I can just close and count for the afternoon session?
Why not?
Right now, I'm going to so doulos is happening from tomorrow, the 4th of March, to the 6th of March.
Yes.
and it's happening at the ICGC Christ Temple
East, yes.
East.
In Teshi.
In Teshi.
Not Abosokai, Teshi.
Teshi, please. Let's talk about the speakers that are coming.
Right.
Very important to me. The speakers that are coming. Can you list to us?
You know, we are passionate about doing things right.
Yes.
The speakers gathering from tomorrow are the best in the world. Yes. They consult for multinationals outside church, but they have what it takes to equip us who serve God in the church. So from South Africa, we'll be receiving Pastor Andre Olivier. From Nigeria and the USA, Pastor Sam Adeyemi. And then we also have Dr. Sam Chand, an expert in leadership. If you sit under Dr. Sam Chand, right here from Ghana, and of course, Dr. Mensa Otabo, our conference host.
Yes.
Yes, and this is going to be you listening to them.
Hey.
There's going to be very, very interactive.
Okay.
It's not like any conference you've seen.
Right.
And so I would just want to encourage everybody to and you will never regret it. Definitely not. You won't.
I just go to church, so I don't have to be at a conference that's going to be teaching us to serve. Who conference has been great.
betrayal, faith, forbidden love. What would you do when life writes a chapter you didn't ask for? Every broken pen has a story to tell. Every story has a lesson to learn. But the question is, how do you fix it? The Broken Pen Show is back. Real stories, raw truths, and maybe, just maybe, the answers you've been looking for. Hi, ladies. Hi. Your story isn't over. Let's fix it together with a cold glass of Nax cocktail. Catch the Broken Pen Show every Thursday at 8 p.m.